The system of law in Russia. The system of law in Russian Federation is presented by norms, institutions, and branches of law which together make a single unity. The system reflects social relations regulated by specific norms and institutions of law. For example, the problems of marriage and divorce, child custody and adoption are connected with the sphere of family relations and consequently regulated by the norms of family law. Branches of law are supposed to be one of the basic units in the whole system of law. Each branch has its own peculiarities which differentiate this very branch from the others, its subjects and method, and its own place in the system. For years, Russian jurists have made attempts to classify branches of law. Nowadays, there are different subdivisions that are used by contemporary Russian scholars. Thus, as well as in most other countries, law in Russia is divided into public and private, substantive and procedural, domestic and international. But there is one more classification which is based on certain characteristics of Russian law. Traditional Russian lawyers single out fundamental, specialized, and composite or complex branches of law. Fundamental branches regulate the most general and important relations in different spheres of social life. This category involves branches of substantive law such as civil law, criminal law, administrative law, as well as procedural law, including civil, criminal, and administrative procedural law. Constitutional law doesn't belong to the group of fundamental branches. It is traditionally considered to have a leading position among other branches, as the norms of constitutional law serve the basis for the norms of other branches. Constitutional law in Russia concerns the structure of legislative, executive, and judicial power and principles of their work. The political system of the country, its federal structure, forms of property, electoral system, legal status of citizens, including their rights, duties, and liberties. The main source of constitutional law is the Constitution of the Russian Federation. Specialized branches of law deal with special areas of social relations such as family relations, financial relations, labor relations, etc. These branches are often independent and their norms are presented in special codes. For example, family code, which is the primary source of family law, the labor code, which is known to be the source of employment law, the land code, which is the source of land law, etc. Together with fundamental and specialized branches, there are so-called composite branches. Usually these branches don't have their own codes. Relations arising in these spheres of law usually regulated either by the norms of fundamental law, administrative, civil, or criminal law, or by norms of specialized law, for example, financial law. This group includes such branches as business law, environmental law, maritime law, agricultural law, etc.